Hey y'all, it's Poseidon with another episode of the Poseidcast, and today if you look over to the left, you'll see we have some topics. So if you notice, this is a solo podcast. Recently I have been doing podcasts with other people, interviewing them, kind of getting their perspective on the community, things like that. And unfortunately this week I wasn't able to get one lined up, which I'm okay with because I did want to do another one of these solo podcasts, mainly because of the second topic we have over here, which is that we have a lot of recent tournament results. There was three big tournaments that happened over the last couple of weekends. We also had a few big online tournaments that happened. Rips Arena just wrapped up its seventh season. Coliseum recently wrapped up as well, so we'll be talking over those finale events as well. And then we're going to go over to the third topic, which is, am I the second best reptile in the world? Question mark. Dylan Lloyd recently made a series of posts on Twitter, kind of collecting data, asking people who are your top five with each character. If you couldn't name five, he asked you to name at least three, and then I think he compiled the votes based off order, I think, and put them into a thing. It's not exactly there. He put a whole paragraph post out there explaining everything, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description for that as well, so you can see that directly, but we'll be going over that. And then the last topic I want to talk about is the toxicity in the Mortal Kombat community. Kind of my viewpoint and perspective on it. I saw a recent post earlier today that I actually couldn't find, but it was a guy talking about how he was overly toxic, and he talked about how it was because he just was going through so much in his personal life that he was kind of just taking it out on the game and the community. And I think that's a lot of people, so we'll go about that. We'll talk about that, but we'll go over the first topic. I actually have a couple lined up. I wasn't able to get anyone this week, but we got on the docket in no particular order over the next 3 weeks. We're going to have MK Soup on. He's a guy who plays a lot of Mortal Kombat 9, was in the community back then, and is still active in the community now, so it would be cool to get his perspective on certain things and, how he enjoys playing an older version of the game compared to the newer one, which I think is really cool. We're also going to have Darth Arma, runner of Mortal Kombat NJ, also known as MKNJ, just veteran in the community, been in the community for a very long time. Commentary, does a bunch of commentary, a bunch of gigs, recently commentated the top 8 of ECT this past weekend. We're going to get Soul's Clue on as well. The Sindel player who made it to Final Combat through the Oceanic region, kind of shocking the world when Waz seemed like he was the one who was going to kind of dominate and walk his way through the Australian or Oceanic region. School came and won the finale and got that Final Combat spot. So it was really cool to talk about him, talk about the scene. He's had a couple tournaments since then that I'm sure we'll talk about. But, yep, that's what we have lined up. Topic here, which is recent tournaments that have happened. So what I like to do is, this is Dreamhack Atlanta, so we have Dreamhack Atlanta, ECT, and First Attack all happened over the last couple of weekends. This one happened 2 weekends ago on October 4th. And ECT happened a week later on October 12th. So we'll talk about that. ECT and First Attack happened on the same weekend. So the way I like to look at it is we go through top 8. We kind of see what happened to top 8. And then we kind of go back and see who people beat to get top 8 and other people's runs within this pool. So Dreamhack Atlanta had about 2 pools. Bandinos ended up winning the tournament. Gur wound up getting second place, double eliminated by Bandinos. Bandinos did use mainly rain throughout the tournament, but against Gur did whip out the Scorpion in both sets. In the first set, he used it as a counter pick. On the second set, he actually started with Scorpion and then switched back to the rain. It looks like Gur 3-1 over G. And then 3-0 over Euphorion. Euphorion went on a run. Euphorion is just one of those players who, they won CEO 2023 last year before MK1. CEO 2023. The Euphorion is an absolute gamer. They're always doing super well. I've never seen Euphorion bust her out of a tournament, drown in pools. They're always like Combo Breaker, they got 9th. UFA, I think they got 13th. They're always in that range where if they're not top 8, they're scraping almost there. Euphorion ended up getting third place, 3-0 over Big Daddy G. Big Daddy G losing to Gur, and then was able to beat Wits. Game 5, Wits big run here as well. But I was saying about G. G got 4th place. Wits 5th place. Desda also 5th place. So Desda, local to the area. I don't know. Hasn't traveled a lot, but was at DreamHack Atlanta last year, I'm pretty sure. And it goes to the 404 events down there. Does a very good player. Someone I think I had them going to this spot. Very good player. So good thing for them going and getting this 5th place, getting that medal is really cool. Wits also with the 5th place, really good. That Raiden sector is scary with the throw combos and the teleport into double sector or the Superman double sector. It's like this team has some sauce. And sector fatal blow. So when you do the fatal blow, you can call in sector now, like you can with Mataro to do a different fatal blow. And that one is broken. Plus on block, it tracks, it gets rid of projectiles, so you can use it on reaction if someone shoots a projectile. It's crazy. It's good, and Wits is woke on that. I got 5th place. To 7th place, S. Hayuno. I know this was big for him. He really, really wanted a top 8 and was able to get it. I know he beat Squad to get there. Too Easy was also qualified for top 8, getting 7th place. Supposedly he was using a lot of Cyrax, and to get top 8, he beat Alex is Nasty, very, very good player. And Alex was playing Cyrax all tournament. Supposedly Too Easy was using Cyrax a lot for the tournament as well. But when he realized he was playing Alex is Nasty, he went and picked the Ermac, and the Ermac was able to get him into the top 8, which is who he lost to. I'm pretty sure he beat Wits in winner's side. So we'll go and look at these pools now for this tournament. Yeah, so so Too Easy did beat Wits winner's side. Was able to get the run back, which was able to make it out of pools after losing to Too Easy, beating Next Gen Assassin. So Next Gen Assassin was actually the person who put Alex as Nasty into losers. Next Gen Assassin is a local to the area, I'm pretty sure. I see they just made like a Twitter, so if you see Next Gen Assassin on Twitter, drop them a follow. I think they're just trying to get more into the community. They probably attended locals, and then they're like, oh, had a nice run. So 9th place, that's really good. Run for someone who seems to be newer to the, or maybe they're a veteran and they just kind of show up here and there. I'm not really sure. Not a name. The guy's name actually kind of sounds familiar. That's why I said that. But yeah, those look like the results from that pool. So we'll go to the other pool, which is one that Guri and Big Daddy G came out of. So Squad was able to make it to this part of the pool. So usually it's like whoever makes it to the end right before is like projected to make it out at that point. So they typically had to get upset. So Hayuna loses to G here, was able to beat SRTV. I don't know what that is, but Nate Hanzo. Nate Hanzo actually won our run to 9th place as well. Big shout out to the boy Nate Hanzo. Just joined the Kingsguard Academy team. Might need to put him on the main roster after this one. But I digress. And then Hayuna was able to take it over Squad. Squad had a really, really solid performance at EVO, so I actually predicted this set to happen, and I actually had Squad winning, so Hayuna putting in a ton of work and going to a ton of offline events like ECT, was at like Mortal Kombat New York. They have been just on the grind. It's really, really cool to see, going to locals and stuff like that. So well-deserved top 8, this dude. Absolute gamer. But that looks like pretty much the end of DreamHack, because it was just this pool and then into top 8. It wasn't a huge event. I think they had about 50 players. I think actually a little bit more. Let me check. Let me get the official number count. It was 59 entrances, so not bad. Not bad at all. Pretty good. And it was a cool tournament. Those are results from there. I think takeaways are Wits is a legitimate contender. Euphoring is also someone who needs to be considered at this top level. Like Euphoring could probably top 8 basically any tournament, any major that pops up. Euphoring's there. Euphoring is probably not shoo-in, but projected to make top 8 for sure. Too Easy, just always solid. You never count Too Easy out in a bracket. Hayuno's for real. If you have him in your bracket pool, look out. I think he's someone who probably around that top 100 range, probably in there for sure. Alex is Nasty, someone as well. Didn't get the top 8, but definitely someone who is in your path is going to make it a bit difficult. Okay, now we got Steeler on defense right now, trying to move Steeler down. Perfect. Okay. Steeler's my cat, for those who don't know. And yeah, I think those are Bandino's just insane for real. Top 10 player, the best player to not attend Final Combat, and Gur, just world-class player, can win basically any tournament, I think, honestly. Okay, so we're going here to ECT. So a few people that attended both events. So you can kind of see like how they did there to compare how they did here. Like Gur got third place at this tournament, so you can see it's like it was a little bit more difficult. There was more attendance here too. I think this tournament was a bit more stacked. So this top 8 is a little bit more impressive, but I wouldn't say a ton more, and you definitely shouldn't discredit the people at Dreamhack Atlanta. So this was ECT. Mighty and Just wins. Supposedly only dropped one game the entire tournament, which is just crazy to think about. This guy's absolutely unreal, undeniable, top 10 player, probably top 5. Time in and time again, top 8 these events, win these tournaments that he's projected to win. Just absolutely incredible. Mari also totally for real, absolutely crazy good MK player. Did lose to Red Nose before top 8, but then ran it all the way through losers. Diddle, Wraith, Red Nose in the run back, and Gur to make grand finals. Gur is one of the hardest. He's so hard to beat. Like, you could take games off Gur, you could take 2 games off Gur, but to close out the set against Gur is just a completely different story. And if you've played this dude at a major tournament, you know what I'm talking about. It's just so hard to just close out the set against him. Red Nose getting 4th. Red Nose is for real. Super solid player, time in and time out, wins Defend the North, comes out here, shows that just because the tournament didn't have a ton of entrances, doesn't mean that wasn't a legit win, gets 4th place, very impressive, beats Mari, makes winner side top 8, goes game 5 with Gur, had the Homelander ready to go, and he was balling with the Homelander, so it wasn't like he's just Kenshi, so that was really cool to see. We got Wraith and Bean Cell with the 5th place finishes. Wraith just absolutely insane with Shang Tsung. So disciplined, so good with the morphs. Just so cool to see, watch this dude just fucking ball out in this game with Shang Tsung when nobody else at this level is using Shang Tsung. And if they are, it's a pocket character. Wraith, every single matchup, run Shang Tsung. We got Bean Cell, crazy run. Showing stuff, maybe, potentially. I mean, I don't want to start some inner rivalry, but Kingsguard is a stacked team. Very good team with very good players. Bean Cell might be the best player on that team. So, 3rd place at Defend the North, comes out here, gets 5th place here. He's just a very, very good player, and definitely not someone you want to sleep on if he's in your path. He went to Evo, had a really good run, beat a Rona. Rona gets second in the Texas Showdown, shows that he's for real. Goes to Evo and loses to Bean Cell in pools. Rona actually goes on, I think it still gets top 16. So the dude's fucking nuts. Or he got 17th, I think, at worst. Dude's fucking nuts. But Bean Cell was able to beat them, gets 5th place. A Turkey, because this man is going to school to be an engineer. He hasn't been playing the game that much. He works. Dude just shows up and just some people just have it like that. Turkey, there's something about some of these players where they're just competitors and they just know how to win. And he showed up to KIT and wins KIT 2021. This dude wins so many online tournaments, goes to Evo Online and makes winner side top 8 without dropping a game. The dude is just absolutely nuts. Shows up here and gets top 8 despite not really playing the game and having much, much bigger priorities. Just absolutely super, super impressive stuff. And then Diddle with the top 8 as well. I'm happy for him. He puts in a ton of work. He grinds the game a lot. Big streamer. He's good at the game, and I think he doesn't get enough credit for being as good as he is because he is more of a personality type where his streams and his energy likes to talk shit and stuff like that. But, Diddle is one of those people, it's the energy you give is energy you get, because I've always had very, very positive experiences with Diddle. Cool dude, and very happy that he got this top 8. Impressive top 8 as well. Beat some good players. So let's look at some of these runs that these players have. We'll look at Diddle's first since we're over here glazing him right now. The Diddle winner side, top 16, one set away from top 8, but had to play Gur, who's just an absolute Kenshi slayer. So Diddle had to play me first round. That's a hard first round matchup. That is, difficult. And because Diddle made top 8, just because I lost round 1, that pretty much absolves me of the loss, because I lost to someone who made top 8. The first person I played made top 8. Diddle goes on, I don't know Alpha Kong. Alpha Kong is Semij, who didn't show up. That would have been Semij, which would have made the path even crazy more difficult. But Digress, Diddle beats Alpha Kong and then goes and beats Mist. Mist goes on the loser's bracket, ends up beating me. Just Measy loses to Gur, and then Just Measy has to play Kells. Did Kells lose to Big Bird? Did I beat Big Bird? I thought I might have played Kells. Yeah, Big Bird, and then Kells goes on this run. Yeah, so that's pretty like 17th. I know Kells probably won and more, but that's not a terrible run. You know, I got 17th. Not terrible. I lost to Mist and Diddle. Mist did really good as well. Mike Metroid. Yeah, my path was a little easier because Samij and Mike Metroid didn't show up. I think Samij would have been on the other side anyway, most likely. Unless he, yeah. Okay. So Mist goes here. Mist goes on to beat Ludi as well, and then goes game 5 with Turkey and just barely misses top 8. Just Measy goes on to lose to Alphabet. Alphabet goes on to lose to Bean Cell game 5. Alphabet, absolute gamer. I think this is showing a couple people that may not have been people's radars to make top 16. Where do you see some of the people that got 17th, but Shampoo Master and Jensen is free, both making top 16 loser side. They both lost their first match, but what was impressive about Turkey's when Turkey beat Pulse in pools, so he was able to get here. So he got to play Mist. Pulse had to play Mari for top 8. Mari was able to close out that set pretty convincingly, it looks like. Let's take a look at Shampoo Master and Jensen's freeze path. I think that would be cool. Wow, Shampoo Master beats Sinister Ruler too. Holy shit! I didn't know he beat Sinister. I knew this dude beats Hercules, and then beats Fluff, who beat Zork, beats Fluff and Sinister Ruler. That's OD. That's crazy. This pool was stacked. Stu was in here. Silence. Who did Silence? Silence lost to Bean Cell. Oh, Silence all the way back. Oh, that's Sinister. Well, that was my eyes. And Silence lost to Bean Cell. Silence lost to Bean and then Koi. Damn, that's a rough path for Silence. That's some people's paths aren't created equal. You know what I mean? Like that's a crazy difficult path. You can't even get on them too much for losing there. But Shampoo Master, wow, that's an impressive run for sure for that man. Very very good stuff. And then we'll look at Jensen's pool as well. I think this is also Turkey and Pulse's pool. Yeah, so. Teching Master. Alex goes here, loses to Unjust. Turkey beats Pulse. Jensen. So that actually gives Alex a difficult path, because now since Pulse lost earlier, he was likely going to have to play Turkey here, but instead has to play Pulse, who's probably a little bit harder of a draw. And yeah, so Alex goes against 17th. Turkey out winner's side. Game 5 against Jensen. Yeah, that's crazy. Jensen beats Dark Green, which is a huge win. Puts Dark in the green, so Dark has by a little bit of an earlier exit than he thought he would. Jensen, crazy, or Quan Chi. Was playing Quan Chi sub when I saw this time on a pretty good run as well. Tekken Master Mod. Goes game 5 with Jensen. I haven't even heard this name before. Lost 3-0 to Dark. Okay, wow. That would have been crazy. It would have been a crazy run. But yeah, that was a bit of another stack. Some of these pools are stacked. Like, it's crazy to make top 16. You actually had to get, like, a couple good, really solid wins. Koi lost to Wraith. That pool was actually pretty crazy too. So Wraith goes out winner side. Wraith makes winner side top 8. Was seeded 4th in this pool and then had to play Shampoo Master, who's likely going to play Hercules, but ends up planning to play Shampoo Master, which he does fine against. And then yeah, Koi beats. Oh yeah, we were already looking at this pool. What am I talking about? That was a stacked pool. What other pools do we have? Bean Cell, that one. We can look at the Mari Renno's pool. This pool was also stacked. Like all these pools were stacked. So we had Mari beats K7, Ludi beats Cosner, Renno's beats Hayuno, Alphabet beats Mygo, Mygo beat Newer. Newer's a good player. Newer beat Geo. Newer loses to Cosner. Cosner loses to K7. Then loses to Alphabet. Ludi ends up taking over Hayuno. This is actually a reverse 3-0 over Gonzo. Gonzo was playing a crazy Cyrax. Hayuno was able to bring it all the way back, though. Good on him. Getting 17th. 17th is not terrible this tournament. K7. Like, you see some of the players that got 17th. It's like, okay, like, it's almost understandable. So, 17th. Cosner getting 25th. Renno's, pretty hard path. You had to play Hayuno into Alphabet, so not like that was a free path. Wins those 3-0 and then ends up beating Mari as well for top 8. And I think, yeah, that's basically it for the pools and stuff like that. Like you've seen some of these sets down here, some impressive runs. I guess what does this mean? Justice for real, top 5 player in the world. I don't think we can deny that. Mari, probably top 20 player in the world. Just solidified by this, but we'll see more events that people have coming up online and stuff like that, because I feel like there's no real big tournaments happening yet. Red Nose for real, very good player, good world-class competitor, one of the best players in the world, still doing it with Garrus. Wraith, nuts Shang Tsung, best Shang Tsung in the world, at least in terms of solo. You'd be like, well, this person beats this person with Shang Tsung in the first of 5. I don't give a shit. Bean Cell, insane, probably one of the best Sindels in the world. Turkey, crazy competitor. If this dude shows up, you better be on the lookout. He might be in top 8. Alphabet, really good. 9th place, top 100 player, made the top 100 last time, probably gonna make the top 100 this time as well. And 9th to defend the North, comes out and gets 9th here as well. So good placings missed. Beating Ludi, that's a big win. Beating Poseidon, that's a huge win, dude. The beating Poseidon, like, you must be really good at the game if you're able to do that. So good run for missed. Shampoo Master, very impressive. Probably, definitely in contention for top 100 for sure. Just impressive run. Being able to beat Sinister and Hercules. Very, very impressive stuff. Jensen, definitely impressed by him. Being able to go and get, top 16 with the Quan, going game 5 with Turkey, close sets, able to clutch it out, make it to top 16 loser side, and beat Dark Green. Very impressive stuff. Good stuff to everyone. Pretty sure I talked about everyone. Good stuff. And, going on to the next one. We got First Attack here, ladies and gentlemen. So First Attack happened. It wasn't the most stacked event. This was a tournament that happened in Puerto Rico. So saw a lot of like the Caribbean island people. I see Bailina traveled out to the tournament. She went and got 5th. That's pretty good. I'm pretty sure you got a medal for that. So shout out to her. Yadriel went on to win the tournament. It's weird how they do this. I don't like it. It's like they show the top 4, which is okay. So there's this, and Yadriel ended up winning the tournament over Broseph, and the losers, Broseph was able to clutch it out. It seemed like Yadriel and Broseph were kind of at the 2 first and second seed at this tournament. And they did pretty well. Yadriel got 2nd at this tournament last year when Big Daddy G won, going and getting the W this time. Real competitor, top 100. Broseph was obviously in final combat. Won the Liga Latina Norte region for Pro Comp, qualified through there. Just very, very solid player, going and getting 2nd place. Quan Chi, Shang Tsung. I don't know who else he's on. I'm not sure if he's on any of the DLC at this point, but very, very cool player. Just a dope individual, very good. And then Luva, this one of these names, and Always Reina, both getting top 4 as well, so that's impressive. They were both able to outplace someone like Bailina, that's someone you can kind of use for reference. Shows that they were pretty good players. Borderline top 100. Like I said, this wasn't a huge tournament, but did happen the same weekend as ECTs. It's understandable why there wasn't many people prioritizing this. I know people were talking about how they wanted to go to First Attack, but it was on the same weekend as ECT, so they couldn't do it. But yeah, so these pools are kind of small. I'm not recognizing any of these names here. But yeah, maybe we can see the names here. I don't know too much to take away from it, other than Yadriel and Broseph are probably the best in the islands right now. I'm not sure if young Jaquelo's out there, or if he just didn't go, or what it is. But I haven't seen him be very active, so we'll see if he comes back or what it is. But yeah, these guys are legit for sure. Yadriel and Broseph. Yeah. Good event, good tournament for sure. All right, we're gonna go over and look at the arena. So the arena happened this weekend. So fucking Rips likes to use challenge, which is probably it's easier for setting up. Challenge is so easier to set up, and like running these big scale tournaments. I'm surprised he hasn't used SRTV, just because for bigger tournaments, it is a little easier to use SRTV, but he's made it work, and he's run these huge tournaments on challenge. It made it work. So in challenge, I prefer. So good on him. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So top 8 Winterside: Uvility, MK Javier, Hody, and Kanimani. So what's crazy about this is Hody beat Faisal to get here, and then Faisal beat Rother. So like these are the people like Mari lost before here. Mari lost before top 8 qualifier to Connie. Connie's just fucking nuts. Connie went on to win the whole thing. I know, little spoilers, but dropped like 1 game. Connie, yeah, look at that. Connie, no game, no. Like, dude, like, this dude's unfucking real. Like, that it's crazy. Because I remember when I was talking with, when I did the interview with OT, we talked about, like, Connie is, like, debatably the best player in the world. But, like, he kind of got a little hold at Final Combat. Like, I guess he shouldn't have lost the set to Scorpion procs. But he did, and then tiebreakers made it so he wasn't able to move on. But this dude's just crazy. Won last Rips Arena season, won this one. Just able to, I don't know, just win, be so consistent and online, and then goes offline, wins versus fighting, gets second at UFA, 2 huge tournaments that happen in EU. I want there to be more EU events because, like, people like, there's Connie, you have like Connie, Video Games, Yo, and Foxy as like the head guys, and then you got Javier who's kind of like right there, and you got Faisal, who is probably, you know, higher than those guys, but Faisal's from the Middle East, but like he's in that region, so like I feel like just a couple, EU deserves 1 to 2 huge MK tournament offlines a year to get all these players out. Even the Russian players, you have like Hody, like discarded, 5th place, very, very good. Javier ends up going and getting 4th. Yeah, lost to Hody. Hody was on this run. Hody's plays Ermac, might be the best Ermac player in the world right now. In terms of like mains, like I know it's like, oh, having that debate stupid. Well, I mean, like, why do people talk about who's the best quarterback in the NFL? Huh, is that a stupid debate? Maybe it is, but like I don't know. We can debate who the best character in the world is. All right. Yeah, crazy. You're on Fire Axe, young kid from EU goes and gets top 8. B Wood. Just this guy is nuts. I see this guy all over these EU tournaments. Very, very impressive player. Really, really cool to see him make top 8. We see like a lot of so Mist goes and gets 9th. Mist 9th here. 17th or 79th at ECT. Definitely probably in the top 100 in terms of like skill-wise players. It'd be kind of hard to keep him out at this point. He's just doing so good. I mean, Homelander, people are like, oh, Homelander, but you know, he's winning and you aren't, so I don't know what to tell you. What do you want me to do? Tell you off negative points? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to figure that out? Go by the results. You can pick whatever character he wants. Okay. B Wood, 9th place, very good. B Wood. Probably solely in the top 100, or soundly. SpawnX, very good run. Beats Mari. Goes game 5 with Desarda. Wasn't able to close it out. Who did SpawnX lose to in winners? It is a little bit easier to use a challenge to navigate, kind of. Now I gotta look through this. Like SpawnX, where is SpawnX? SpawnX. Did he lose round 1? SpawnX. I can't believe. Where is he? I'm skipping over, aren't I? Why can't I see it? There's too many names. There it is. Okay, so Spawnless lost game 5 to Hody. He had like Hody round 1. So the way Rips does it is like it's top 64, and then you're seeded based off how you finished in points of the season. So it's not like it was seeded based off skill. It was seeded based off of the point system. So the SpawnX goes, beats Captain Cold, beats Stinks, beat PC, beats Wits game 5. Damn, Wits won game 5 with SpawnX. Wasn't able to close it though. Yo Bao. 3-0, 3-1 over Mari, and then get damn some SpawnX for real for sure. I mean, it's on. So the thing is, like, some of these EU players, but like, this is an EU-centric event, so I think for EU-centric events, you want to give a little bit more slack to the NA players, and for NA-centric events, you want to give a little bit more slack to the EU players, because more times than not, they're going to have to play in a bag ping. Which could be beneficial for like, you know, the people who are playing from NA, because then you get to get used to the high ping when they have to play you. They have to play on higher ping. But if you're East Coast to like EU, it's not terrible. It's definitely doable for sure. I gotta get an ad blocker or something. What the hell? Yikes! Let me exit out of this stuff. Okay, so we got Trash ended up going and making 9th place. Trash definitely in that top 100 discussion. I'll definitely have to look over more of his results. See some of these results are Hizuka, crazy good player. Mari, Bob Doll, who beat Honeybee's Noob. We have Hero, Ryan, I don't know how to say his name. But yeah, these are basically the results here. I think we got all the big takeaways. Some of these people, Rensler, who won season 6 or 5, loses relatively early at 17th. Dash Shizzle is a pretty good player. 17th, Magic, top 100 player for last season. 17th, Macaron, Pro-Con finalist, top 30 player in the world, 17th. So Ishmael, very, very good player, making waves in a lot of tournaments, 17th. So we'll see. Dude, Mist, I think, actually, Honeybee, I think, played new, but Mist, kind of killing Reptile players, dude. So we'll be on the lookout for that, dude. All right. So that's going to be the end of Rips Arena. Basically, those are the results right there. Takeaways: Kanimani is the best in EU. Javier is insane. Hody is the best running back in the world. Who else I heard? Uvility is insane. Top 100 level player. Got fourth at Versus. Got borderline top 50 player probably. Maybe a little higher than that. Insane homeliner player. Uvility is nuts. But yeah, the main results faced all still very, very good. I don't think they really changes where he is. He got fifth, so we'll see if I don't know if he has any offlines. So it might be hard to. He might not be able to reclaim his fourth place in the top 100 last time, finishing as a top 5 player in the world. But we'll see. We'll see his other results and stuff like that. But yeah, the Fire Axe legit. Rolther, so good at this game. Rolther's absolutely nuts. Definitely hot top 100 player. But yeah, okay. So we're going to go over here. We're going to look at the Coliseum. So this is the top 8. So what happened is all these players had to win a tournament to get into this event. So just to be here, they had to win an incredibly stacked tournament. So just alone making it absolutely incredible. Top 8 we had Dexy Dog versus B-Wood. Dexy Dog took that. Unjust versus Mari. Unjust takes that. Kakoi versus Kale. Kakoi wins that. And then Hourglass versus Mink Wazowski. Hourglass wins that. Mink, probably the biggest surprise. Mink, crazy tournament run to get here. So definitely putting him on the map. Probably a top 100 player just to make this top 8 finales absolutely incredibly difficult. So shout outs to him. He did end up going to 0-2 in this bracket to get 7th place. B-Wood also ends up losing to Mari to get 7th place. Mari goes on to lose to Hourglass. Dexy goes on to lose to Online Kale. So the Hourglass, Dexy able to beat Hourglass, Unjust and Kakoi winners finals. Kakoi able to beat Unjust both times and become back-to-back Coliseum champion. Kakoi, I think, is, for how good he is, he's a very good player, and I think a lot of people recognize that. I think he is still underrated. I think he has peaks similar to Unjust, not as high, and he has deeper valleys. And I'm not sure if people kind of compare the two because they're brothers or twins. But Kakoi is an absolutely insane player, a top 20 player, underrated. And Unjust is just, we talked P1 ECT, Unjust is top 5 player in the world. I don't think. And I guess it's his brother, but that makes it both easier and endlessly harder to beat them. So there's so many mind games, the characters that they select, he goes to the character select scene and Unjust picks fucking Rain, and it's is he sandbagging on me? Is he throwing? It's just that. As beneficial as you think it would be to play your brother, it's probably equally as unbeneficial in these competitive events for sure. So the fact that he was able to win that, Unjust, obviously, insane. Dexy Dog, top 30 player. The dude's so consistent, so good. Melina, Hourglass. Again, super consistent. Pro Comp qualifier, unfortunately, wasn't able to go as a car drives by. I had the window open, so it'd be a little cooler in here, so I do apologize. I digress, though. Hourglass, insane player to qualify for top 8. Mari, which we already talked about. Probably borderline top 20 player in the world. Insane. ELG, shout out to ELG, shout out to OT, Elite Legends Gaming, absolute GOAT team. Online Kale, very, very solid prodigy, probably top 30-ish, top 40 player. Makington, definitely someone who can be considered for the top 100. B-Wood, probably someone who's probably safely already in the top 100 range. Makington, probably with a result like this, would probably propel him in there, but we'll see compared to how everyone else does. But yeah, those are the tournament results that happened recently. 3 big offlines, as well as Rips Arena and Coliseum, 2 of the biggest online tournaments that the scene has to offer. We're going to go on to the third topic of the podcast, which is going to be, am I the second best reptile in the world? So why would I say that? That's kind of an interesting thing to say. So what we got is Dylan Lloyd made a series of posts kind of asking people to vote. He wrote a lot on it. I'm not going to go and read through all of this, try to content drain, but because it's a lot. But basically, people voted, and as you can see right here in this one, your boy Poseidon was voted as the second best Reptile player. And obviously, a big degree to this is kind of popularity. Like, I do a podcast, and I host tournaments, and I travel a decent amount to tournaments, and I'm very active like on Twitter, putting my opinion and stuff out there. And so, I think in terms of popularity, I do think it almost made me a little bit sad to see this in a way, because they're like, oh wow, that's such a big accomplishment, that's so cool. I mean, obviously it's not a direct correlation of skill. Dylan Lloyd said, please, if you think someone who doesn't compete but is good on a casual level plays one of these characters, please vote for them, because I want to be all inclusive. I went in there, like, you have someone like Young Monster, absurdly good, doesn't really compete. You have people like Dab or Casual Tay, don't really compete, but just absurdly good at the game. But yeah, I digress. I do think that Darks and Kaizen are both better than me at this game currently. Kaizen, absolute monster, has been entering EU events and crushing it. Darks has been top 8ing basically every online event, including the most recent Shirare Sunday. I went to ECT, I got 17th place. I went to Last Chance Qualifier, I got 33rd place. I went to Combo Breaker, I got 49th place. And when I compete online, I either almost make top 8 or make top 8 of pretty much every tournament that I enter. But that's usually kind of like scrape top 8, and Darks has been crushing it, going out and winning. He won a Leaf Live tournament, Run the Inferno. Kaizen just absolutely crushing these EU events week in and week out. And even Cosner has had some very impressive offline events. Combo Breaker went and got 25th. He got ranked in the top 100, just barely in there, but was in there and good enough. So Cosner, although I did outplace him in ECT, we didn't have the same path. So it's not like just the placement is going to determine how much better someone is than someone else. Cosner still probably, I would put as better than me. I think I would maybe put myself 5th. And you got someone like Mountain Dew Joker who's considered in there. There's also Heroes, insanely good Reptile player who went and got 9th at Versus Fighting tournament in EU, stacked major. And so Mountain Dew, I might put myself over Mountain Dew just because recently in tournament, I'm up 2-1 on him. He's debatably still a better player than me despite that. I think just because you beat someone head to head doesn't necessarily mean you're better. I think if you do it in bracket, that actually means something. But when you do it in like friendlies, and even in bracket, it doesn't mean everything, but it definitely means something. But in friendlies, I don't think it really means too much. So maybe I could put myself over Mountain Dew, but even Heroes might be on there as well. So I might not even be on the list if we truly go compile the numbers. But I'm happy that people, like my content and stuff enough to be like, Poseidon is one of the best Reptile players. I do put it out there that I play a lot of Reptile, and I know I'm good at the game. I just don't like to give myself credit when it's not, you know what I mean? Like I didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Because there's times where I feel like I deserve it and I don't get it, and I'm like, guys, where's my credit? But then also you can't, you know what I mean? So if I see like I'm getting credit when I don't deserve it, and it's to speak up, and then but stinks. Then you speak up about it. You're like, hey, I don't think I necessarily deserve this. People are like, oh, you're like, it looks like you're like almost seeking people to be like, no, what are you talking about? You deserve it. And that's definitely not my prerogative in this situation. I just kind of don't, like I said, like getting credit. I don't want to give credit to where it's due. Just because Darks and Kaizen and Heroes may not be as quote unquote popular as me doesn't mean they aren't better than me with Reptile, because they all probably are. At least to some degree. But maybe offline. I mean, I go offline, I do pretty good. None of these other Reptile players really do. Cosner, with the exception of Cosner. And we get very similar results. But he did outplace the hell out of me at Combo Breaker, and we did play. I mean, it was almost a year ago with us playing at NEC, but in top 8 at NEC, Cosner did 3-0 me. So we'll see. But that was when he had broken low. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it. I think this is really cool that that Dylan Lloyd did this. I put in a ton of work, did it for all the characters, top 5. I'll leave a link in the description to the original post where he posts all this. So if this is something you do want to look into, he rated, so you don't even need to compete. You could be casual, and it was basically just voted on by the community. So cool stuff. How did Beyond Toxin get not even fully? See, that's why it's a little weird. Beyond Toxin is probably the best Mac. And then Hodie's probably it's either Hodie or Beyond Toxin. And although these players are really good, Alto amazing, Striker amazing, Venus amazing. It's just like there's just so many amazing players who play these characters. You know what I mean? Like Sonic Fox probably should be in there multiple times. But I digress. It's I said it was voted on and stuff like that. It's not about how good you are. It's kind of clout based, if you will. So that is it for that topic. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're gonna go in and get into the last topic. Toxicity in the Mortal Kombat community. So I noticed today someone made a post. I'm not going to call them out particularly, but I think it kind of spoke to a general toxicity problem that we have in the community. I think it's probably apparent in all FGC games, but especially when something is online as Mortal Kombat, like we don't get a ton of major tournaments. There's a lot of people who don't even go offline to compete, so their whole experience is online, and maybe they don't even compete and they just aren't talking about league, whatever. But he talked about how he feel like he's been seen and been overly toxic, and he feels like it's because he's been having a lot of stuff go on in his personal life, and I would say that is common to a lot of people who are overly toxic in the community. You see people who kind of quote unquote have these like toxic personas, and I want to talk about it. Even like popular streamers talk about how they suffer and have suffered and currently do suffer with depression. And it's almost like a way to lash out. Like when I am at my most like sad, depressed, is also the time that I feel like I lash out the most. The time that I will get angry at other people just for kind of, existing in a way. Like they have an opinion that I slightly don't agree with, and I jump down their throat because I'm upset. So I'm going to get mad at them and act like they're the reason that I'm upset. And when in reality, it's me. It's all internal. And when it comes to this, and when someone is being toxic on this level, to show them empathy back, although is incredibly difficult, is probably the answer, because they probably need it to some degree. And you don't need to go out there and give them money or even counsel them or even message them, or you could just be like, hey, you don't need to be condescending about it. You can be like, hey, I don't, just what's going on in your life is terrible. Be like, I hope all is well. GG's. I hope your life is going good. And they try to because they're almost searching for that negativity, because then they almost want to feel more of it. Because I've noticed with myself as well, when I feel negative, it's like you almost want more negativity. Like you want to feel worse. Like whenever and it's weird, but they say misery likes company, and misery likes company. Misery likes more misery. So when you're in these dark spaces, you almost seek it out, and maybe it's conscious or completely subconscious. Some people can realize it. I was fortunate enough to go and get a psychology minor in college, so that's not the biggest deal in the world, but I did study psychology quite a bit. I had to write a lot of papers and stuff like that, took a lot of classes. And so I know I can pick up on this stuff better than a lot of other people can, because they just don't have that background. Like other people could probably pick up how to fix a computer better than I can, because I suck at it. You know what I mean? People have, shortcomings in certain areas. There's mental gaps, you know what I mean? I can't fix my car, and my car breaks, I'm going to have to take it to the shop, so I digress. But yeah, so when we have, there is a lot of toxic things that go on in the community, and a lot of times when it does happen, if you can realize that it's the other person's fault in a way. Not the other person's fault, what am I talking about? That it's not the other person's fault, but they are just taking out what's going on personally within them onto you. And that's the case with a lot of things in life, is that when people are overly mad or angry, when things are going good, when I'm happy and things, and then one small thing happens, I don't blow up over it. But when things are bad and I'm not liking it and I'm having problems, and then something small happens, it's I want to unload on them. It's your delivery is going to be delayed. You're my delivery is going to be delayed. When you're having a bad time, you freak out, you yell at the customer service representative, when basically a lot of turmoil is happening in your life. And it's the same thing when you play Combat League and you play your character. Because you play Reptile, for example, you're me, and it was oh my god, these Reptiles so carry, they're losing because they just wanted to get on Combat League and decompress, and they're almost taking it out on you and talking about how you suck and you're bad because you play Reptile, you play Homelander, you play Johnny Cage. and it's all because of what's happening personally to them. So you know, I always try to show empathy. I don't always. I go back and forth with people all the time. I'm not perfect at this by any means. I don't think anyone is. But I think it's kind of recognizing that and not letting the cycle continue, because it's like someone does something negative to me, therefore I'm okay with doing that to the community. It's like, okay, it's kind of like, oh, people talk bad about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1 sucks. I have the green light to talk bad about it, which means you do it, and then it's like, oh, this person's like, oh, that person, and it kind of chain reactions. You know what I mean? It's like when someone's toxic to you, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go be toxic to other people. It kind of chain reactions. It kind of causes more toxicity you're kind of putting out there instead of it can stop with you, and that could be what showing the compassion is, just like not allowing this to have part of your day take up any space in your mind. It's obviously more difficult than done, but like just kind of realizing that when you go into these things, like, hey, if someone's being toxic to me, it's probably because they have something going on in their life. So when someone is toxic, you're like, oh, they have something going on in their life. And you don't need to rub that in their face. Don't make them feel worse about it. You don't even need to say anything to them. You can kind of just stop it and be like, GG's. You know, people say like, oh, someone teabags me. I don't teabag back. I'm just not. I mean, I'm from a region with someone like Sunio, who's going to teabag me anyway. Regardless, we game one. But like, that's just not my personal style. And I'm not going to allow someone else's actions to influence me to do something that I normally wouldn't do. But that's just my opinion. I hope that speaks true to you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It would be greatly appreciated.